everyone. My name's Sean Murphy, along with Mr. George Madiou, the creator, the founder of the Network Marketing Magazine. And we're here today to talk to you a little bit about this phenomenon that's taking place inside the industry that George has created some time now, but more and more people are getting to know about it, getting excited about it. Companies are starting to say, we need this, and that's called the 27%er Insiders Circle. So, George, thanks for being here today. I appreciate you taking some time. I'm glad I get to talk to you about it.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you. There's no better person that I can think of that I can be discussing this with and really articulating what you and I strongly feel as though it's an important step for people that want to succeed in their business to understand what it's all about.
It's critical. So let's dive right in. This is kind of the teaser, right? There's some other information where people can go get the longer story. So in essence, the 27%er Insider Circle, how did it come about and why are so many people excited about it right now?
Well, it really starts with the beginning of the Network Marketing Magazine 11 and a half years ago. Back in October 2005, we started the Network Marketing Magazine. And back then, well, our mission was to really support the orphans of the industry. And what I mean by the orphans was, Cousin Bob was recruited by Cousin Sally and, joined the company 2 days before Bob, quit 3 days after she recruited Bob. And so now Bob was left with nobody to teach him. And this happens all the time. And there are so many orphans out there that exist. And after a while, most of them just go by the wayside. People say, well, network marketing doesn't work. Well, you and I both know, Sean, that network marketing, in fact, does work, and it does work very well as long as we work it and we learn the skill sets necessary. So we started the magazine, like I said, back in October 2005. By the end of the fifth year, we had about 15,000 members. And the end of that year, going into our sixth year, we analyzed what was going on. We made a decision to make the magazine free of charge. It was interesting because what happened, we grew from 15,000 people in our membership to 165,000 members. And we were read in all 50 states here in the United States and 123 countries around the world. So that was really pretty exciting. But by the end of the 10th year, we decided to take a look, because one of the things we were recognizing was the responsiveness from our members to us was getting less and less than when we had 15,000 people. And it was really tracking what we found was going on in the industry. So we decided to really analyze our members. And it turned out to be a microcosm of what was going on in the industry. What we found was clearly 70% of the people that were our members weren't willing to learn the skill sets necessary to build a successful business. What they did was they joined, and it was almost as if they thought they bought a lottery ticket. And I was shocked when we really started to dig into this and found out that the only thing that they were really willing to do, most of them, was walk down to the end of their driveway, open up their mailbox to see if the big check came in. And when the big check came in, they came walking back. Some of them quit. Those people were the lucky ones. The rest of them just complained that network marketing didn't work. Well, had nothing to do with them. It had nothing to do with the fact that they weren't working it. They were just disgruntled. And I really got angry. The reason why I got angry was we really cared about all our members. And we found out that 70% of our members didn't care about themselves, their business, their family. We cared for them more than they did. We further analyzed our membership. We found 3% of our memberships were big money earners. They were people that earned five, six, seven figures, and and 1% of them, one out of three, really taught their people, and you could tell they taught their people because they ended up replicating their own success down into their group. We were excited about them, but what we were disappointed about was the other two out of three. They didn't have a clue as far as how they got there. Well, as we started to learn what they did and their downline, it was easy to figure out what they did was they sponsored you, Sean Murphy. They sponsored me, George Madiou. We dragged them over the big money finish line. Unfortunately, the people in their group did not have the same success, the money success, and this was a problem. But what was left was 27% of our members. That was one of the most exciting things we learned from this whole thing. Those 27%, they were starving to find out what they had to do to 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 learn the skill sets necessary to become successful. They wanted to learn it, they wanted to apply it, they wanted to apply systems that they knew were out there that could help them grow their business. So we decided that we were going to keep the free membership. And that free membership, instead of getting all the archives, the past archives from day one, we were only going to give them this month's issue and last month's issue. And we didn't really have to give them last month's issue because most of them weren't even reading this month's issue. Um, but we decided to bring back annual membership, the paid membership. So what we included was all the past archives, a complete success library of information that can be sorted by subject matter that you can become competent in. If you were a lousy prospector, you just typed in the search bar at the top of the homepage, prospecting, and up would come over 200 articles. So we ended
And
up starting the
because the people who are writing these articles are some are legends in personal development, some are legends in network marketing, right? Tom Big Al, right? So, I mean, these are people who, Jim Rohn, we've got articles from, these are people who truly understand A, how to move people, two, how to enroll people if we were talking about prospecting, but prospecting, team building, international building, how to deal with a new product launch, how to deal with the internet, how to deal with social media. All of that content is there, and it's always been there. What happens
right.
is, as George said, is the 27 percenters, those are the ones that are constantly seeking it out.
That's right. That's right. So we started what we call the annual 27 percenter success membership. As you put it, it's an insider circle. It's like you're going to college and the professor is actually whispering the answers in your ear during the final exam. It's great. And so we started that, and it has been an incredible movement. People are just jumping at this membership. And we started to go ahead and do trainings for companies. We did trainings for leaders, and the thing we kept on hearing over and over again was, finding those people in our company that really want to do what's necessary to be successful is like finding a needle in a haystack. So I then said, all right, why don't we do this? Why don't we give you a metal detector to find those needles? And we're going to give your people three options. They could listen to a nice talk or webinar and do nothing. They could sign up for free and get this month's issue and last month's issue, or they could become a 27 percenter. And the 27 percenter then tells us that they're raising their hand saying, you need to recognize us as someone in your company that is either a leader or a potential leader, but really wants to do what's necessary to become successful in this business. And so the owners and or the leaders that we were doing these talks with got really excited. And I said, what we're going to do is also give them a second year free. So the leaders and the company owners said, that's a great deal. I said, no, well, wait a second. We're going to do something even further because we want to really make sure that we know the people that want to do this. So you and I know our good friend Max Steingart, who teaches this program, Endless Free Leads. It's a social media prospecting system that uses Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We sell it in our store for $397. I say to the owners or the leaders that we're going to give you not only a second year free, but we're also going to give you Max's program for free. They said, it's unbelievable. How, you know,
Max's program, and I've been through it all, and it is endless prospects, and it does teach you how to leverage that. And I know people who pay $397 for it. And so when you told me that this was going to be included in this package in the 27% insider circle, I was like, wait a minute, does Max know you're doing that? And Max said he wants this industry to do more, be more, have more. And those who raise their hand, he's going to participate in making sure they have no excuse on how to find endless leads.
Yeah, well, that's the basic premise behind it. We're no longer searching for the 70 percenters. They're identifying themselves right away. We're searching for the 27 percenters because we're about ready to do some phenomenal things this year, next year, and for years to come. But what we need to do is we need to identify those 27 percenters because once you're a 27 percenter, you can take these skill sets anywhere or stay where you are and be one of the most successful and lucrative groups in your company because your job is going to be not only to be a 27 percenter, but to recognize those 27 percenters in their company. So that's the short story of what we're working on. We're going to be describing how to use the network marketing magazine. We're going to discuss 27 percenter trainers. We have over 200 people that have written for us, um, and there's only less than 10% of those people that I consider true 27 percenter trainers. And I don't mean to embarrass you, but you are one of them because you bring skill sets that are absolutely necessary for people to know. We're going to talk about live events that we're going to be doing for just 27 percenters with our 27 percenter trainers. Um, we're making plans already to do this year 3 live events: Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Orlando. Um, we're going to be doing 3 cruises toward the end of this year and into next year. We're going to do a 27 percent. What's that?
my attention on the cruises and the live events for cruises. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody wants to go on a cruise.
Well, we're going to do a cruise on the East Coast to the Caribbean. We're going to do a cruise on the West Coast to Alaska. We're going to do a cruise for our friends in Europe, in the Mediterranean. And I'll tell you, as the 27 percenters grow in the areas where you're really strong in Central and South America, we're going to be doing cruises down there and live events down there. We're going to be doing cruises in Australia and New Zealand because it's strong there. So we're really excited about the parts and pieces, and we're going to go beyond this little video, and we're going to drill down into some of the things we're doing and some of the things we're going to be doing to help our people grow their business and become extremely successful.
So, folks, there you have it, the Network Marketing Magazine. So there you go, the Network Marketing Magazine, and you've got it there. There's a lot of information that's here. If you scroll down on the right-hand side, you see it right there, the 27% membership. You have access to this now. I would urge you, those that, there's that first mover advantage. I would urge you sooner rather than later, because those who, well, let me put it this way. You've got all of this information that's inside here from the insider circle, those 27%er trainers. But guess what happens? It's just not the trainers. It's all of the mentors that they've had. I've had mentors like Kyle Wilson, who was Jim Rohn's business for 18 years. Can you imagine some of the stuff that I'm getting access to, privy to, that inside the 27%er inner circle? They're going to have some access to that as well. So do not miss a chance to be part of what you want to do, because this is your year. Make it your best year. I'm Sean Murphy, the creator of Mental Profits, along with George Madiou, the founder of the Network Marketing Magazine. And George, I'm going to let you close us off. What do you want to say to the folks before we head out?
Well, I'm just going to say that taking action is the thing. One of the basics of what we end up really teaching is mindset. And mindset starts with the action that you take. It's not a matter of whether or not you can or you can't. And when you do, you'll get an email from me. Just return the email and just say, I was on the video with Sean, and we're gonna treat you special. So thanks so much, Sean. You're awesome, and you're a 27%er trainer, and I love teaming up with you.
I appreciate it, George. Thank you so much, folks. So from sunny Florida and sunny Texas, we'll see you where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now.